Take a seat, friend. Because of Christmas, probably. Yeah. Well, they may be finishing their workout. That's cool. We'll give them a few minutes. Doc, run into the gym and just pick out how many more guys you think are coming in here based on who normally hits. We're going to spend a little time talking. I don't know how much you guys have done this so far. We've been hitting this winter for like 6 weeks. Some of you guys were hitting in the fall with us too, and even before that. So you've spent some time doing all these drills. You spent some time working on all this machine work and all these things that we're trying to implement as hitters, but I know we don't get to talk about it that often. I know Dom showed you guys some videos and some breakdowns and talked about your swings a little bit. I want to start doing more of that as we get closer to the season and as we get more swings under your belt, as you get challenged more. Who is using their blast now, starting to track stuff? Abernathy's, you don't have one yet? Philly, no. Okay, so you guys have not. So you guys, you have an account, but you haven't started tracking them. Okay, so I think Dom and maybe Mike are going to start looking at some of that stuff with you guys next week. But for the new guys, they've got to get them signed up, acclimated accounts set up, and then run through what kind of data we want to go through with you guys. Again, like the blast stuff is not that big of a deal, right? It tells us part of the story. It doesn't tell us the whole story. So like my vision for you guys in doing this training, especially in the wintertime, is that you come out on the other side getting ready for your seasons a more complete, not just hitter, but offensive player. Okay, so like I'm going to write down some things up here talking about like what the winter is all about. Some of those things are very obvious. Some of them are buried a little bit more, and we got to think about like, oh yeah, I guess we are trying to do that. What are some obvious things that we've been doing and trying to do in the wintertime?
Bunch of swings.
Okay, so accumulate swings. All right. What else? Okay, so we're attacking posture. I'm going to say posture and swing mechanics. Okay, so we're trying to make it so that each and every one of your swings is better. Okay, what else?
Backside and frontside moves.
Okay, so athleticism and moves to the ball. Your approach. As a hitter. Okay, and there's a lot that goes into approach, so we'll dive into that later. What else? Winter objectives. Okay, bat pass going to go up here with swing mechanics.
I think we've been working on more breaking ball for the last 2.
Okay, cool. So this is a different category. This is like pitch recognition and swing decisions. Okay, so what we're trying to do here with this stuff, guys, is we're trying to tie our brain into hitting. Okay, this stuff up here is oftentimes not like brain stuff. It's just trying to get your body to move better, trying to get you more athletic, trying to talk about how a move to the ball should look. But when we start going into like approach and then pitch recognition, swing decisions, that's how our brain is helping us hit. Does that make sense? The closer we get to the spring, the more this is important. The more we have to start turning our brain on. Because there's a whole other side of the equation when we get into spring, and that's somebody's trying to get Will out every time he goes to the plate. Somebody is figuring out how to attack Ben every time he goes to the plate, trying to find his holes, trying to find what he's not good at, trying to break this down, trying to make it so that his swing doesn't look good. and also to have him make poor swing decisions and not be able to recognize the pitches. That's what the pitcher's trying to do. We're trying to strengthen those things so that when the guy comes at us, he don't stand a chance. Does that make sense? That's part of this whole thing becoming a complete offensive player. Doc, tell me what goes into being a complete offensive player that maybe is not as obvious as what you might think in here training. Just throw some stuff out.
Base running.
Okay, base running could be a part of it. Cool. We know that to be able to run the bases properly, you have to do what?
Get on base.
You have to get on base. So getting on base is synonymous with base running. If you're on base more often, you'll get better at base running, then you can practice base running more often. Good.
Like, I don't know, it's being a team player, bunting, taking pitches so they can steal hit runs.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to say things like maybe sacrificing pitches, sacrificing at-bats for the greater good of the team, to set your team up. Situational hitting. Okay, what else? Come on, Phil.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, like, maybe keeping, like, the count alive to where, you know, it's an 0-2 and you can work it into, like, a 3-2 count or something like that to where you make the pitcher make the hard pitch or something
All right.
like that.
Working counts. So to do that, you have to use one of these up here to do that. Which one?
Approach.
Okay, good. What else?
Brain.
The pitch recognition. These two. You're going to use the brain power ones to do that, okay? You're going to figure out, okay, what pitches do I need to swing at in this count, approaching it this way? When the count swings, how does that approach change? Now what do I swing at? You guys have been working on breaking balls with the machine, right? And a couple times I've asked some of you guys, like, hey, was that the right one to swing at? And you're like, nah. But it's hard in the cage because is there a count? No. So it's hard for you to have the mental approach of, okay, I need to do this because I know what the count is. We need to start working on some of that stuff. Okay? So tonight we're going to do that. Like, I'm going to force you guys to put yourself in game-like scenarios a little bit. I know we play games and do competitions and stuff sometimes, but there's times when you guys just need to, like, compete against yourself doing it. That's how you perfect it. Okay? So we're going to go through, we're going to do, like Dom has you guys start out with your backside moves and the water bags. We're going to continue doing that tonight. That's great. We're going to go into front toss. We're going to go into BP. When we do front toss and BP, I want you guys to focus a little bit tonight. Again, we're not changing any of the stuff we're working on right now, but I want you guys to focus a little bit more on this brain stuff, okay? Because here's where people swing at the worst pitches. In BP. If you don't swing the right pitches in BP, you're not going to know what pitches to swing at in the game. Bobby had that conversation with you, right, Will? Talking about, hey, if you don't set the tee upright and in the right punch zone for yourself, when you get in game, you're not going to train yourself to swing through that zone. So in BP, we're going to try to do a good job tonight of doing that. When we go to our machine work, I'm by myself tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to set up the double barrel like we had last night, where I'm throwing BP stagger, the machine's throwing staggered, left-handed breaking balls, right-handed fastballs. I'm going to throw the fastballs, the machine's going to throw the breaking balls, and we're just going to go back and forth. Okay, so unlike, were you guys here last night, Doc? Unlike last night where it was like one pitch, another pitch, one pitch, another pitch, tonight we'll do 3 and 3. So you'll get a crack at 3 fastballs in a row. You'll get a crack at 3 curveballs in a row. Of those 3 curveballs, you got to figure out which ones you're going to swing at and which ones you're not. Just because you know a pitcher's throwing a breaking ball, left-handed breaking ball, you know, the coach has the signs and he's relaying it to you when you're up to bat. Does that mean you swing at it? No. In fact, you might get yourself out if you swing just because you know what's coming. Okay, so trying to get this pitch recognition thing to make sense to you guys, that's going to be some of the focus tonight. I need questions from you guys on winter stuff. Maybe it's, hey, are we gonna do this? Are we gonna do that? Are we gonna get into this? Like, do you guys have any questions? Is there? Yes, we're planning that for I think the second or third week of January, and live at bats, and everybody's gonna get that opportunity against the Velo guys. So there will likely be two groups. There will likely be an older varsity group and a younger not varsity group. What, Ben? What's your question?
That was my question.
No, we don't. We don't need. I don't need Wit facing.
92.
Yeah, that doesn't. That's not going to help him. So, what other questions? Isaac, you're quiet. Okay. You guys nervous about anything heading into the season? Like, man, I don't really feel good with this, or this. I need to get a handle on this. Or you guys feel like you're getting enough swings and you're getting enough attention? Okay, cool. I know some of you, like Ben, you missed some time because you're away for holidays. Philly, you've missed a little time. Like, don't sweat that stuff, guys. Just when you're in here, make the most of it. Get in here as much as you can in between now and the end of January. The season's going to be here before you know it. And that's it. Like, just put stock in, hey, man, I'm doing the right stuff right now. I'm going to come out on the other end better when we start the spring. Okay? Let's go hit, guys.